Hey guys, and welcome to the IHNT podcast, the Ihasnotomato podcast, the Tomato podcast, podcast time with Liam, whatever you want to call it. Or is it even really a podcast? I don't know. Because I don't know if I'm going to make any more of these, or if this is just going to be a one-off or something. This is kind of something I felt like doing, where I got some things which I feel the need to express and want to talk about, and I thought that I could probably try and make like a weird squeezed into a little weird 10-minute video in the attempt to say it all, but I'll just let it go because I got a lot of things I kind of want to talk about, and I thought a sort of podcast format might just be that. So this is going to kind of be like a little I guess update or behind the scenes. It's going to be me talking about my workings and going-ons in my life. Sort of like a little journal entry, except on audio and on internet and for everyone to hear. So yeah. The reason I'm making a podcast, first off, a couple of reasons. Other than the fact that I want to talk about stuff. Additionally, I have been on a podcast high myself. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, every bloody YouTuber's got a podcast nowadays. And I'd agree with that too. Like, bloody hell, everyone does. But it's not enough for me because I work all day drawing and stuff like that. And I got to have stuff on in the background. And there's nothing better than a podcast. But I work for usually like 10 hours a day or something like that. And I run out of podcasts. So I'm like, I'm going to contribute to the whole. So there's that. Just someone talking about their work as well. So I'm going to be talking about things like, I'm going to talk about my video work and stuff first, because I know that's probably the most interesting thing for a lot of people, and then I'm going to talk about my drawing stuff, and then maybe I'll just talk about some other things like games and stuff that I've been playing and my thoughts on them. So yeah, I'll just jump right into it. The first thing being my tier 2 videos. So what's going on with them? Well, as you guys have probably seen, I recently posted like a week ago, probably more than a week ago actually now, the first episode of the TF2 Zombies, which was a lot of fun. I recorded it with my friends Reflex and Aaron, and loud car going by. I apologize for any background noise, by the way. I'm not exactly in my normal recording spot, but then again, that's not exactly great either. Sorry, I'm getting distracted already. Yes, so we recorded the TF2 Zombies thing, and we got, I don't know how many episodes we'll be cutting it into, but we recorded for like 3 or 4 hours, I think, so there's a lot of good stuff in there, although I did cut out a lot of the first episode. That's like an hour already, so maybe it's like 4. I don't know. But the reason I made it is because, if you haven't been able to tell, I've been attempting to make a TF2 video a week. I've been attempting to make 3 videos a week, for those of you who don't realize, but it's roughly a week as well, because I'm very bad at I don't like scheduling my videos, because I don't like setting these deadlines for things, I guess you could say. I like having a vagueness, so it's easier for me to be flexible rather than having to stress myself out too much, because I got a lot of things I got to get done. But anyway, a TF2 video, a speed drawing, and an Overwatch video, and then back to TF2, speed drawing, Overwatch. I'm pretty sure that's the order. So that way it's nice and diverse, and I'm constantly getting through them all. And I've done this very specifically in terms of for the Overwatch thing, which I'll talk about later. But essentially it's just so you're getting an even amount of content, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not just posting purely the Overwatch stuff, because I know that like 90% of you don't care for the Overwatch stuff, and I'll get into that later. 90% of you, but like, you much prefer the TF2 stuff, and I'm aware of that. I understand, and that makes me really happy as well that there's so many really big TF2 fans out there still. But yeah, so that's what I've been trying to do in terms of that. But the thing about making a TF2 video a week is that making big things, what I would consider a big thing at least, is something like the heavy update video. You know that one, which is actually blown up recently. I was really surprised. I don't know why exactly. I theorized that maybe it's because I changed the thumbnail to something a bit more appealing to the one I actually drew. But wow, like that video's gotten a lot of views really quickly, and I thank you guys very much for that. I really appreciate it, because that video took roughly like 2 weeks to make, which obviously, you know, a 2 week long thing to make, you can't exactly release one of those a week. So that's why, partially the reason why I have these TF2 zombie videos, because it's already all recorded and they're much easier to make. Because the thing is, with something like that, right? It's I record it one night with my friends. It took for like 4 hours or something like that, and then I can just edit it, you know, and that's all there is to it. Edit it and cut it up, throw in some images and text and funny gags and shit like that, and upload it. When a video like the heavy update video or anything like that, you know, I gotta conceptualize the idea, you know, write down notes for it and stuff like that. Got ideas for it. Write down the script, rewrite the script, you know. Edit it. Editing a video like that usually takes a lot more as well, because I've got to go edit through. Well, I got to record my dialogue, and I'm really, really bad at recording dialogue, like really bad. On top of the fact that I have a fucking lisp, I fuck up my lines way more often than you might think. But yeah, so I got to record my lines, re-record my lines usually, edit my lines, and get through all of the shit, all the wrong lines, all the fucked upness. Then I gotta edit all of the you know, the gags and stuff in, I guess you could say, the visual aids. Then I go out and record some background footage. And generally for those videos, I like to record semi-good background footage, so that could take like a night in itself, just trying to play enough like games and lives and stuff to have, you know, decent lives to put on display. Because it's a thing, you know, they call it the Let's Players curse, but it really occurs to everyone, where it's like, as soon as you press that record button, you will do shit. So I only show the good stuff. I mean, even the best players have like bad days, but you know, it's kind of annoying sometimes, but it's like playing for 3 hours and I have, you know, 10 minutes worth of usable footage, like less than, you know, or what I would consider usable. Everyone's got different like rankings for how I consider usable footage, but yeah. So yeah, then you got to put all that together and see, like, anyway, that all comes together and makes a lot of time. But the TF2 things like TF2 zombies and stuff, it's a lot easier to make. So expect more of those soon. And I do have videos planned, bigger, more you know, intense videos, like the heavy update and stuff. But I'm running into a bit of a problem right now, and I'm sure a lot of you are, you know, very aware of this. But the Pyro update is a thing that's supposed to be a thing, but it's not a thing, not right yet. It's coming, but no one knows when. I remember when I was expecting it to come out like a week after the Meet Your Match update, because I was like, well, you know, Meet Your Match was only half the update, right? As a lot of people were expecting and possibly even hoping. But no, here we are, almost a year later, and still no one knows how much closer we are necessarily. So that's the thing, right? So I have like a Word document, like a whole page of ideas for these big videos that I want to make. I have like an entire like weapon series, like dissection thing. I want to go over all the weapons for the Pyro and things like that, and like talk about them and all that kind of stuff. And I've even written down notes and like ideas and like half scripts and stuff for some of them. But the thing is, I just don't trust myself to make them. I say trust myself, I don't trust TF2, the TF2 team or whatever, because I don't want my video to be immediately outdated. Because I'm going to be blunt with you guys, I don't really want to go through like 2 weeks of work to produce like a video that I poured my heart and soul into, only for it to be immediately outdated. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what's going to happen in the TF2 update. I mean, like, I presume that there's going to be like lots of weapon changes and stuff. They've already hinted towards some. In fact, they even deliberately didn't talk about any Pyro weapon changes in the recent, semi-recent, I guess, thing on the blog. So that's sort of annoying because I don't even get like a general idea of where they're thinking of bringing the pyro weapons, because I want to talk about them. You know, I suspect a lot of them are probably on the chopping block. I mean, for God's sakes, the pyro himself is like subject to a lot of change. So like, I don't know. I just don't know. And as a result, like, I'm not making any videos on the pyro right now, which kind of sucks because I know a lot of people are like, they like the idea of me being a pyro YouTuber, pyro TF2, and I'm like, I like that too, but I just can't. I can't make any content on the pyro because I just don't trust myself. I don't trust TF2 team. I just don't want to take that risk of, you know, spending 2 weeks of my life or whatever. It's not 2 full weeks, by the way. It just usually takes so long because I got a lot of shit to do during the day generally. But you know, to make this fully edited big video or whatever have you, only for it to be immediately outdated and irrelevant. You know, it would be really annoying, to say the least. I don't want to immediately have to make like an update video for it, so I don't know. I just want to wait until the pyro update comes out, and then it'll be video bonanza. Like the day one pyro update comes out, I'm gonna be like reporting on that shit. I'll make like the dissection of the pages that they'll release online, like, you know, the update page. I'll play the game. I'll give you my feedback on it like a couple days later. I'll give you you know, my thoughts and opinions. I'll give you gameplay footage, and then from there, you know, all the things that came from it, all the changes and stuff that pyro I plan on covering all in their own videos. It'll just be like an explosion of pyro related videos and TF2 related videos, and that'll be day one, hopefully. I say hopefully because, you know, I got like, life keeps ticking away, you know. I got things and commitments to do, and like every day I'm like, man, I hope the pyro update comes like today because I got today off, you know what I'm saying? It's like I can just see it now. I'm gonna be somewhere where I have no access to like my computer or the internet or something like that for like a week, and that'll be when the pyro update comes out. I can see it now. Oh boy. And it's like, I hate being on my toes all the time. Like, of course, like I want to clarify as well. I'm on the side of, I would much rather them take their sweet time with this update and make it really, really good, as opposed to rushing it out now just so I can report on it. I'd rather it be a better update, like a really good update, than not. I've actually been seeing some people post about things like where the hype for the update is too far out of the roof now that no matter what, it's going to disappoint, and that's kind of a shame. And I agree. I mean, like, I'm not like that personally, but I do know a lot of people like that, where online particularly, where it's like, you know, it's just been too much time, and it doesn't actually matter. Even if it's the greatest update of all time, people are going to dislike it, which is a shame, you know. Oh well. I mean, I was on the side of like, I liked the Meet Your Match update a lot more than most people did, I guess. I mean, I didn't think it was great or anything like that. It's nowhere near my like top 10 updates or anything like that, but like, I appreciated it. I don't know, TF2 is like my favorite game, so it's difficult for me to not just, you know, enjoy every update, I guess. Very few updates have made me go like, this is terrible. In fact, I don't think there has been at all. But yeah, so that's kind of the situation on the TF2 videos right now. A lot of you will probably click off now, which is fine. I'll see you guys later. That's all about TF2 for the time being. But I do want to say one thing, actually, real quick. Before you go, wait, come back! TF2, I'm not leaving, okay? And the reason I'm saying that now is because I'm moving on to the Overwatch thing, right? And if you want to like hear why I'm making Overwatch videos, or what's going on with them, or my thoughts on Overwatch in general comparatively to TF2, then just wait a little bit, because I'm about to talk about that. But to summarize, I have not left TF2 for Overwatch, and I'm not going to, probably at all ever. Overwatch would have to do something really, really, really fucking amazing in order for me to want to move over to it. I'm just going to be 100% honest with you right now. I plan on maybe making a video about that at one point in the future. In fact, I even know when I might want to make it, but I want to do like a kind of a return video, because I did a TF2 versus Overwatch video when it came out. And I want to do sort of like a, you know, a reprise of that, and like say, now that Overwatch is a year old, what do I think of it compared to TF2 now? And like I said, to summarize, it's not doing wonders. But yeah, let's talk about the Overwatch videos now. So why the hell have I made these Overwatch videos? I've made like 7 or 8 right now. In a series called Overwatch Season 4 Placements Drunk with Reflex. It's a bit of a mouthful of the title, but I think I got it right. So what is that? Why are you posting these? What the fuck is this? Well, to put it quite frankly, it is a joke. Which I guess a lot of people don't get. Which is fine, you know, it's not exactly conveyed well, but the idea is like... So let me just tell you this backstory for this, because a lot of people don't quite understand this. I get a comment on an Overwatch video just about every single time, someone saying, man, like, you should just stick on the TF2 content, or you should not do the Overwatch content, or I don't like this content, or something along those lines, which, you know, whatever, it's fine. There's actually one comment which I'll talk about in a bit, which really kind of irks me a bit, but what is the deal with these Overwatch videos? Well, quite frankly, it is as simple as this. My friend was over my place one day, Reflex, and we got drunk, and we were like, hey, you know what would be funny to do while we're drunk? Some Overwatch competitive placement matches. And then I was like, yeah, let's record them. And that's the whole thing. So it's just like I was saying with the TF2 Zombies thing, where it's just like one night we recorded a whole bunch for like 3 hours or something like that, and making videos out of it. It's the exact same thing with Overwatch, except I'm doing competitive placements drunk. So it was all recorded in one night. All these videos, you have to do 10 placement matches, so there's going to be 10 episodes. So I think there's only like 2 or 3 left, and then they'll be done. They're not recorded separately. I'm not like continuing on the series because like I'm trying to force it on you. It's just like I'm just getting it done, you know. But a lot of people don't like it, and I kind of like, you know, I guess I'm not conveying how much I really, because Overwatch is a game. It's fine in my opinion. In my opinion, it's like a 7 out of 10, when TF2 is like a 10 out of 10 for me. You know, something like that. Those aren't exact numbers, but you know, they're pretty much where it is. Overwatch actually might be more close to a 6, but anyway. And I kind of thought that the idea of, you know, that I'm taking what is supposed to be the most serious game mode, you know, competitive placements, and taking that, you know, putting on the twist of like, I obviously don't care enough about this game or the competitive scene or anything like that, that I'm actually playing it drunk with a friend and fucking around and being goofy. That it would convey the idea that I'm not a massive fan of this game, you know? But people still kind of get the impression of like, he's moving on to Overwatch. Which, by the way, I do get that, right? I know that there's a bit of a stigma. A lot of YouTubers, TF2bers particularly, have moved on to Overwatch. And it's very disappointing. In fact, I actually know some that like kind of flip-flop between the two because they went, oh, I'm moving on to Overwatch, and then they got like a massive backlash, and then they went back to TF2, but still kind of Overwatch, and it's like, whatever. But I just want to really kind of drive the point home that like, I think Overwatch is an okay game. I play it with friends sometimes when we feel like it. It's fun, sure, but like, as far as TF2 versus Overwatch, TF2 will win like 9.5 out of 10 times, and that's just the long and short of it. And yeah, in terms of how many Overwatch videos are going to be left, how much more of this you have to be subjected to, you know, well, first off, you don't have to watch it. You just straight up don't. And a lot of you don't, so there you go, it's fine. But, you know, there's only a couple, like, episode 10's the last one. And then, hopefully, I plan on making that video where I'll compare it back to Team Fortress 2 again. And give my final kind of review. I'm saving my thoughts on, like, where they exactly stand for that video, but you know, stay tuned for that, hopefully. So yeah, I was gonna say something else about it, but yeah, I'm not moving on to Overwatch, and like, that was the thing, right? I really made sure that like I said, that I had this schedule of Overwatch, TF2 speed drawing, you know, and it would always be in like that order. So I would never have 2 Overwatch videos in a row, because if I did that, I get the like you know, I'm an audience member as much as you guys are for other YouTubers, where, you know, you see something like that and you're like, oh no, he's moved on to Overwatch. So I made a point that I'd have just as many Overwatch videos as TF2 videos, if not more TF2 videos, to really kind of drive the point home that I'm not moving on to Overwatch. So there's that. But there are still some people, and that brings me to this one comment, man. And it's kind of annoying because it's like the only comment on the video, so it's like I don't want to call someone out, but like I do kind of want to use you as an example. I don't know your name, but and I'm going to be paraphrasing your comment a bit, but I got a comment on one of my Overwatch videos which really kind of irked me the wrong way, I'll admit, where they essentially said, and this was like, you know, them trying to be helpful, and I respect that and all that, but it was a little bit, you know, misguided, which was they said, you know, that I should essentially stick to TF2 videos because they'll get me more views and money. The Overwatch videos don't. The Overwatch videos get like 50 views average, while TF2 gets like a couple thousand average, you know. And that's a pretty big gap. And he was basically telling me, you know, trying to be nice and giving me advice, like, you know, if you want this channel to be more successful, just stick to the TF2 content, mate, you know. He said it in a much nicer way. But like, I want to put this out there as like a kind of message about me. I am not in this for the views or the money. And I know that nowadays on YouTube, I guess that's kind of a surprising thing, you know. I mean, I've only, to give you the long and short of it, you want to know the amount of times that YouTube has even paid me? Once. You want to know how much they paid me? $100. And that was over the course of like 4 or 5 years that I had the channel, you know, slowly building up that money. And then they paid me once, and that's all I've been paid so far. So there you go. I remember actually I received a comment, and that was like months ago as well. I received a comment on a video, this is before I was even paid, and they were saying like, oh, this guy just making the video 10 minutes long just so he can get that money. And it's just like, I don't even get paid, man. But anyway, whatever. YouTube is a hobby for me, right? So all of my videos I make because I want to make them, you know? You know, there's no video, I don't want to make a video that I personally dislike or don't want to make. So I have fun editing these Overwatch videos. I have fun making them. I had fun recording them. And like, I want to upload them to share them with people. If you don't want to watch them, then I have no quarrels with you at all. If it got like 2 views, if it got 0 views, I wouldn't mind. I'd still post them until those videos are done, you know? I have respect for like me, myself, and my friend as well, who I recorded it with, you know? For me, it's less of, this is an Overwatch video. It's more of a, this is like a memory of me having fun. And like a little fun like video that I edited. A little bit of content for you guys. But I get it, you know, not everyone likes the Overwatch videos, but I just want to kind of drive that point home that like, you know, I'm a content creator for fun. You know, this isn't my job. I'm doing it for fun. I'm doing it for you guys. I'm doing it for myself. You know, so that's the long and short of it. That's the Overwatch videos for you. And after this series is done, there probably won't be any more Overwatch videos for a long time because I do not play that game like at all. Pretty much, I play it exclusively when my friends are like, "Hey, do you want to play some Overwatch?" And I'm like, "All right." Because I have friends who like only play TF2 and friends who only play Overwatch, so you know, it's back and forth. But yeah, but as I was saying, you know, YouTube isn't my job. What is my job? Well, technically, I'm unemployed. But what I want my career to be mainly around is my art. So I'm going to move a bit onto that now. I want to talk about the speed drawing videos. And all I really want to talk about for the speed drawing videos is, I just want to say thanks, really. The speed drawing videos, I was saying like episode 1 or something, that it was me kind of trying to merge my 2 worlds together, I guess you could say. Because I consider myself an artist first and a video maker second. And that's just how it is, you know. But if I could merge the 2 together, then even better, you know what I mean? And I'll admit, I was expecting those videos to to do worse than Overwatch, but they haven't. They've been doing like relatively well, and I really appreciate all like the nice comments and feedback and stuff like that I've been getting for them. It makes me really, really happy, and I'm just glad about that. I kind of feel a bit bad sometimes though, because like this is just a drawing stigma of myself. It's a completely personal thing where it's like the first like 3 or 4 videos, I kept making them more intense, and they were longer and longer to make. They started off like the first one was like an hour and a half, second one was like 2 hours, then 3 hours, then 4 hours, and then like down to 3. And like the most recent one, the end is Nigh one, as of this recording, and probably by the time this video goes up as well, was it was only like 2 hours or something like that, less than. And I felt bad because it's like, oh, I gotta keep upping myself up. I don't know if any of you guys care about that, but it's like a weird thing where it's like I gotta feel like I've done enough work, and that's like just a weird major kind of, not a problem, but just a thing I've been tackling with my big project right now, which I suppose I can move on to. There's not much to talk about the speed drawing other than like I really appreciate your guys' support. Like, watching it at all is like a big kind of thing for me. Like I said, it's a big step in the direction of merging my two kind of like lives together, so to speak. And I'm glad that it's working as well as it is. And I'm planning on doing more drawing stuff. My plan for the future of my channel is I want it to be 50-50 TF2 videos and drawing videos. That's the future plan. Right now it's like, well, it's split with TF2 videos, drawing videos, and Overwatch. When Overwatch is done, there'll be no more of that. The video will be much more streamlined, so I'll be an artist and TF2 video maker. Is what I plan on doing. Maybe the odd other random video here and there, but I've been trying to save, like, I do lots of occasional little random videos on my second channel. But yeah, so that's that, and I'm glad that once again people like it. I have other videos around the idea of drawing planned, But anyway, so speaking of drawing, some of you might know that I have been working on I guess I don't know how to describe it. Graphic novel, web comic. It's kind of hard to say, I'm talking like a full page part of like a whole story, When I say comic, I think comic strip, but that's not right. It is a comic. It's a web comic. I don't know, whatever. Because I want to be like a graphic novelist when I in the future, That's just my my dream goal. So I've been working full time essentially on my first ever like proper webcomic thing, and it's currently named Kass, and that's pretty much taken up most of my time recently. And it's funny because I've been saying I recently left uni. I'm done with uni, and so I've had like all this free time to work on my novel. And I can honestly say I've been working more in the last few weeks than I had throughout the whole year at uni. I'm like really dedicating myself to this. And it's kind of why I wanted to talk about it, because this has been essentially my life for the last few weeks. Really heavily working on it. And I know what you're thinking, like, oh, you've got like a webcomic out? Where can I see it? Well, nowhere right now. It's not out yet, but it will be out soon. I swear, I promise. So let me just explain real quick. When it does come out, it'll be on my DeviantArt, Tumblr, and maybe Twitter. I might advertise a bit on Twitter, but Twitter's kind of weird because it's like, I don't know. Twitter is like a news feed that just kind of goes, while Tumblr and DeviantArt is like a place to store things. That's a really bad way of putting things, but whatever. And maybe one day I'll get my own site, but this is like, this comic, it's just like it's a lot of things. It's an experiment in a way. It's me learning. This is my first little step into the world of creating graphic novels. I'm learning a fuck ton on the way about how to do it all. And it's just like, this is going to be like page 1 of my, portfolio. Well, that would probably be all my other drawings, but you know what I'm saying. This is like, my first little attempt at a story, and it's going insanely well compared to the other things. I've actually been writing and working on these other graphic novels for years and years, 5 years particularly, because Mabini was telling me a couple of weeks ago that, hey, you know this project that you started 5 years ago? Yeah, it's almost 5 years old. I'm like, oh my god, I've barely even made anything for it. And I say that in the sense of which, like, that's a really big project that's not going to come out for years and years and years. But this project I'm working on right now is intentionally much smaller, with the intention of actually releasing it. So, what is it? What am I doing? Well, I'm kind of deliberately keeping it a secret, which is a terrible idea for advertising purposes of just kind of getting it out there. But it's I value the surprise of how I want it to come off at first. You can see some pictures and images. I'll probably put them on screen right now. I don't know how I'm going to edit this. Of like the characters and stuff that I've already made. I'm talking about excluding the main character, because I also don't want to show them just yet. Main character is named Kass. You couldn't really tell. But yeah, it's set in a school setting, and it's going to try. I'm going to try and do my kind of. I like to write things a bit differently in terms of kind of subjecting expectations and stuff like that. Hopefully, at least, you know, it comes off that way. But yeah, it's going exceedingly well. And to kind of give you an idea of how well it's going, as of right now, of recording this, hopefully by the time this goes up I would have finished another one. I have finished 9 pages. Now when I say I've finished 9 pages, I mean I've finished 9 pages. Now here's the thing about that, right? To finish a page means that I've done a lot of things. Okay? Conceptualization, initial conceptualization, right? Then you go to writing down notes. Then you go to writing down the scripts. Then you go to conceptualizing the pages. Then you go to like writing, like syncing up all the pages and stuff with the dialogue and things like that. Then you start making the actual page, and from the actual page you got to do the first I do my first underneath kind of like conceptualizing, you know, pencil drawing, I guess, first. Then I do the line art. Then I do the shading, the coloring. Then I do the shading, and then I put the text on. So there's a lot of steps, probably more than I'm forgetting as well. But what I'm saying, I've done that 9 times. So, and that's a lot for me, because I've been, and this is kind of what I was talking about earlier, I have been very meticulous of these pages. If you think, like, you know, those drawings I've been doing where like 4 or 5 hours have been like the max, like that's like the minimum for these pages. I recently, page 9, which I just finished last night, it took me like 2 days. And like, I'm talking like working pretty much all day. And they're not even in color. They're not actually in color. They're in black and white, but I'm doing like a million different shades of black and white, so they might as well be in color. And I go and I redraw them, and I draw them, and I redraw them again and again and again, trying to get them to look right and how I want them to look, and like, it's designing scenes and stuff like that. Like, I don't want to break the fourth wall too much. I mean, the thing hasn't even come out yet, but like, I'll tell you one of the big things I've learned from doing this, for anyone who's interested. Easiest panels in the world to draw, close-up faces. It's so easy. You just refer to like your characters that you've already done. You draw it. You make the facial expression that they need. 2 or 3 colors. Bam, you're done. Right? Hardest pages, like a full street view with multiple people. Because I'm being a stickler, and I have, with each random citizen, I got to design a new person. Right? I don't have to. I can make them silhouettes or something like that, but I'm choosing to actually properly design these people. But I got to kind of balance it, right? So I got to design them, but not make them look like they stand too far out, you know, but also kind of ground them in the world that I'm creating. You know what I'm saying? So they got to look like average people, but still have a little bit of uniqueness to them, but not unique enough that they look like a main character, if that makes any sense. So that way my main characters can stand out and the other people can blend into the world and just be a part of it, you know. So it feels like the world that I'm creating is populated, but you know that they're not the focus. So I just recently made this page which has like 7 just random people, and it's, like I said, it's taken like 2 days to make, like over 10 hours, probably more than 10 hours, like 15 hours. And it went on and on and on and on and on. And it's like, I keep like underestimating how long it's going to take. Like, I was like, yeah, before I get to bed, I'll finish this page. Okay, yeah, before I get to bed, I'll just color in one panel. Yeah, all right, before I get to bed, I'll, finish, doing the line art for it of one panel. It's like, oh my god, I shouldn't have like talked too much about it, because now I know that I don't want to give the idea like as soon as you see the page you'll be like, oh, you'll be looking at the page through a perspective of how it was made rather than just the page itself. It's just the kind of thing you want to hear about after you've seen it. But anyway, why haven't you seen it? That's the other big question. So if you've made 9 pages, Liam, why haven't you released them? Well, I can technically. So here's the plan, right? I want to release the first, when I actually start it, I'm going to release the first 4 pages all at once to kind of give like a bit of a start, and then from then on I want to do like 2 a week, 2 or 3 a week. I'm still deciding on that. So why don't I just do it? Well, I want to be ahead of the curve, and I mean really ahead of the curve, because I was just talking about earlier how I don't like these like what's the word, like the thingies, deadlines. That's the one. I knew it was something line. I don't like having deadlines, but for this I do want to have a deadline. But I want to know that I can meet it, so I'm gonna make tons of pages ahead of time, all done. So I'm gonna be like way ahead of the curve. So if there's like a week or 2 which I just physically cannot make the pages, I'll still have more than enough pages to fill in the gap. I just want to like guarantee it as much as I can. Like, there will be these pages on these days at these times that I will set later. And it's just me being a bit of a stickler, but this is like a big passion project for me. So I really want to kind of pour my heart and soul into it, which is why these like drawings are taking so long, because I want them to both, be simple enough that they're not actually going to take a million years, but also, I want to sort of convey my drawing skills and stuff like that. My writing skills and all of this. I'm trying to like, just because it's my first attempt doesn't mean I'm, half-assing it. I'm really like pouring my heart and soul into this, as much as I can. And I'm like and every time I finish a page, or finish in quotation marks a page, I'll show it to some people who like friends and family who will look at it and they'll go, oh yes, you might want to make changes here and here and here. I'm really trying to perfect it in my way, which I say my way because I'm sure like everyone has different ways of what they want, but I'm just trying to make it my vision, and it's going exceedingly well so far. Like I said, I've made like already 9 pages, which is like amazing considering the time constraints, which is what I've been doing this week. And I should have mentioned this earlier, but there has been no videos this week except for this one, and I apologize for that. And the reason for that is because I've been house sitting. And the thing about me house sitting here, well, one is the internet here is exceedingly slow when it's uploading, so I've been trying to avoid doing that. It's to the point where like I'm very spoiled in this manner, I guess. When I'm at home, when I'm uploading, I can do other things on the internet. But when I'm here, and also the place I house sitted like 2 weeks ago, less than that, it was like as soon as I start uploading, the internet is occupied. I can't do anything online. It's sort of annoying. It takes hours and hours and hours. It's like, oh. Obviously, these people that I'm house sitting for, they don't have the intention of uploading videos every couple of days. But yeah, so I've been focusing this week primarily on just drawing, because I have a goal. I'm going to get 3 pages done, which is kind of difficult because it's like 3 pages is essentially 2 days per page, depending on the page. It's so dependent, man. Like I said, if a page is all just like close-ups and stuff, I could get that done in a day, sure. But if it's like I was saying, this massive street view of a bunch of random people and stuff like that, it's gonna take fucking 2 or 3 days. Whew. And like I said, I just listened to a ton of fucking podcasts and stuff during this, so that's why I'm in the mood to make a podcast myself. I got shit I want to talk about. I got a lot of thoughts. I sit there in complete silence listening to other people talk that I want to talk now. This is my turn. I'ma talk now, bitch. But yeah, so Kass is on the way. When I do upload it, by the way, I'll let you guys know, because it's going to be a big thing for me, so I'm definitely going to make at least one video on my channel saying, hey, check it out, I just made this thing. And I'm actually thinking what I might do is I might do a speed drawing for it, as like a maybe like episode 10 speed drawing, maybe. I don't know if that's the exact number, don't hold me to that, but that'll be like a little special where it's like, hey, this is my work now, I'm not doing like a fan art or anything like that, this is just my work. Then again, I did do that for the heavy drawing, didn't I? I don't know, whatever. I gotta make a new thumbnail for the Gold Rush update as well, because I changed the thumbnail for the Pyre update and the heavy update, obviously. And Gold Rush one will be made at some point. I don't want to make all my speed drawings TF2 based drawings or anything like that. I know that people want me to. I've seen a couple comments of people saying, hey, can you make my character in Team Fortress 2? Which I'm afraid I'm going to have to decline. And I'm afraid, and the reason for that is because, how do I put this delicately? You think of it like this. You are asking me to spend like maybe like around 4 hours of my life to make something for you, just for you, one individual person, for nothing. I don't know how else to put it. This is like the thing, right? This is what a commission is. If you want me to draw something for you, I'm sorry, but like it's got to be. I can't just do it for free, you know. I have things to do myself. It's got to be worth my time. And I'm sorry to be so blunt about it, but it's true, you know. I have things to do, and like if say I do make it, right? I make a picture of your TF2 character, just one random person, just for free, for no reason at all, you know, taking out all the time of my day, just out of the goodness of my heart, right? Suddenly, everyone else will be like, hey, you did it for him, why not for me? You know what I'm saying? And I have over 6,000 subscribers now. That's a lot of people. Thank you very much, by the way. I'm actually fucking amazed about how many fucking people have subscribed recently. Like, wow, thank you guys very, very much. Now, I'm sorry if you're a new subscriber and this is like the first video you're seeing and it's terrible. Whew. I probably set in like tomorrow or the next day or something. There will be a new TF2 video. They'll do the next zombies video. But yeah, but you kind of get what I'm trying to say here, right? Like, if you were like a friend, like a close friend, and you're like, hey, can you draw this for me? I'd consider it. Like, okay. But just a random person on the internet just wants me to draw them, like take out like a quarter of a day of my life to draw you something, just you specifically, out of the goodness of my heart. I'm not that good of a person. I'm sorry, I really am. But you know, that's where commissions come in. Hey, Ihasnotomato, you're doing commissions? I am not currently, because I'm working full time on my own stuff. That's the thing, right? People always say, like, you know, if you're an artist, you should just make artwork out of the goodness of your heart. You shouldn't need to be paid for it. It's like, yeah, alright, I guess I'll just starve then. I do want to start up a Patreon at one point as well, by the way. Just putting that out there. You can just file that away. No. I do want to, because, like, obviously, being an artist and a YouTuber is not exactly the most financially viable thing in the world. But it is something that I really, really want to do and put my time into, and hopefully, you know, I'm gonna start releasing my webcomic first and see if people like it and, you know, support it. Patreon would go towards everything if I made it, you know. Essentially, it would go towards feeding me and allowing me to live another day in order to make videos for you. That's all it would be. Patreon, I'll tell you what, it's the weirdest thing, really, because, I mean, this isn't an ad for Patreon. I have one, but I haven't actually set it up yet. But it's very interesting because it's essentially like, I get the stigma, right? I had it for years where it's like, people are like, please, like, support me on Patreon. I'm like, I'm not going to give you money for free, for doing work. Unbelievable. giving people money for work. You know, like I didn't think exactly like that, but it's that idea of like, you know, I mean, I'm a student artist. You know, I'm not a student. I'm not even a student anymore. I'm an artist. You think I got the money to spend on people? Well, I kind of do, and I'll explain to you why. And it's this interesting thing where it's just like, on Patreon, depending on the person, of course, you can donate a minimum of $1 a month, right? But you're like, and you go, yeah, all right, sure, $1 a month, sure. But think about it. But actually think about it though. $1, one fucking buck, a month. That's $12 a year. You know, like I go to the store daily to buy fucking Skittles or something, which are like $5. You know, which is 5 months worth of a paycheck. You know, of donations that you could give to to a person to make their life so much better. You know what I mean? Like when I really kind of put it in perspective, like $1 a month is like actually literally nothing. You know, I spend more of that, you know, on like food to live daily. You know what I'm saying? So I'm donating to 3 different people right now. So which means $3 a month. You know, I barely notice, and I barely have an income at all. You know. $3 a month is not a lot. I'm not trying to shill out or anything like right now, which is another thing. I hate this stigma of like Patreon, which is like, oh, they're just selling out. It's like, no, I think they're just trying to live. Most times when people have a Patreon, they're just trying to support themselves, you know. YouTube does not, have to be really big on YouTube and like produce content daily in order to actually live off of it. That is a certified guarantee from me. Essentially, you know, you have to be real big, and even then, to be able to live comfortably, you got to be real big. You know, like a couple million, or maybe just 1 million subscribers. I don't know, but around that, you know. Which I'm obviously nowhere near. So, anyway, I haven't started a Patreon yet, but when I do, you know, if you're interested in donating $1 a month to keep me alive, that'd be real nice. And I'd appreciate you. I don't have any ideas for reward tiers other than like commissions. You know, there it comes in, the commissions again. I can draw your tier 2 character for you now. If you give me a little bit of dough so I can buy an apple and live for another day. That's essentially what it is. I'd like to, to live. Anyway. Moving on a little bit. Now I've talked about all my projects and stuff like that, I'm going to move on to talking about video games and also maybe anime. Because I've been watching a little bit of anime. I was going to try and like go a beautiful segue from my Kass to talking about an anime which I watched a little bit recently and want to kind of complain about. But you know, I'm not good at segues, and here we are. The thing about Kass is that I've been inspired by watching anime, so I've been trying to adopt somewhat of an anime style, although I'm absolutely trash at it. So it's kind of like a mix between my style and anime. But anyway, I'm watching some anime, and one was recommended to me consistently by a couple of my friends. It's called Food Wars. Now I gotta ask, has anyone here watched Food Wars? And if you have, what's the appeal of it? Like, I gotta be honest, like I don't understand this show. It is so unexciting. Now I've only watched like 10 episodes or something, 10 or 12, I'm not sure. But those first like 10 episodes where there's like a food war every episode, they're so pointless. And allow me to explain, right? Here's the concept of the show. You got this guy, I forget the main character's name because I'm terrible at names. He's gone to this food academy thing for learning to be a chef. And it's like the most hardcore one in the world. You know, in typical anime fashion, you know, they're so hardcore that if you make even one mistake, you get expelled. Because, of course, you know, stakes are high, that's what I'm saying. But they're high right off the bat, right? And as a result, for the first like 10 episodes, and there's like a battle every episode, the main character, he has to, he has to win in this cooking battle or else he gets expelled. And that's always the stakes. You win or you get expelled, you know? And you know that he's not going to get expelled. Of course not. He's like the main character, and the whole purpose of the show is for him to graduate from this chef school thing, right? So then the show should become like, okay, we know he's going to win, but how does he win? But it's not even that. He's just kind of brilliant already, you know? He's one of those characters where he just starts off already being like amazing at the thing, and he's like godlike and stuff. So every episode has 0 stakes because they're so high that they're nothing, you know? They've gone so high that they've reverted back to 0 because you know he's going to win, and he's just going to pull out a win out of his ass. You know what I mean? I don't get the appeal of this show. I really don't. And if anyone else has watched it and they like it, please explain it to me. I've heard that it gets better, like literally like episodes after the ones I've just watched, but like I don't know, man. I can't get into it. But I also have like no time to watch anime recently because I've been working until 4 a.m. every damn day. So I just go to bed and die, and then wake up at fucking like 1 in the afternoon. My sleep schedule may be fucked up, but remember, like, you know, it's not like I'm staying up until 4 a.m. doing nothing. I mean, it's just like I'm working all day, probably like a normal shift, if not more than a normal person. It's just the hours are different, you know. I'm a night owl. But anyway, so I've been trying to watch more anime. If you have any good ones to recommend me, go ahead. I like to be diverse. I've been dipping my toe in all kinds of things because, like, you never know what will be good, you know. I mean, like I was saying, I love Miss Kobayashi's Maid Dragon. Steins Gate is my favorite anime of all time. I really loved Kill la Kill, you know. I'm a bit of a fan of JoJo, but you know, JoJo's sort of its own thing, isn't it? But yeah, so what else have I been doing? I've been playing a couple video games, just a couple. I've been playing a bit of Dark Souls with Aaron, which I thought I might just say as a little side because if anyone's here from my old Let's Playing days, back when Aaron and I were playing games, I would constantly tell him, you should play Dark Souls because it's real good and you'd like it a lot. Well, he is now, so, and he's enjoying it a lot. So it's just a little update on that, little closure on that story from years ago. I've been playing the Ender's Nigh, which I talked extensively about in my speed drawing video. But I haven't been able to play that as much either. It's kind of sucky because it's like when I play it, I want to like set out like an hour or two to do it, you know. But like, I just can't do it, man. I just don't have the time. But I'll tell you what I have been playing: Splatoon 2. And I'll tell you why I've been able to play this. It's because I got it on my Switch, obviously. And with the Switch, you can play that fucking thing anywhere. So I can multitask, you know. I can't draw and play it, obviously, but I have other things during the day that I gotta do, and I can play it while I'm doing that. You know what I'm saying? And the games in it are only like 3 minutes each. I had the first one, but I played it like 2 or 3 times. I'm gonna be honest with you. And I'll tell you why. It's because 2 reasons. One, I kind of bought it pretty late into its life, so like there weren't a ton of people playing. Not to say that like there wasn't enough to play with, but you know, the community wasn't massive around it at that point. And I just didn't have the time to play it, you know. Like, I know on the Wii U it does have your little gamepad and all that, but I mean, let's be honest, it's not exactly the best thing to play on, and it's not as, like, the range for it is not as long as it should be, because I couldn't necessarily bring it into my room without it cutting out every now and then. It was like, ugh. But the Switch, you can just bring it anywhere, and I really like that. I just love the idea of being able to play it wherever, and as a result, I'm much more into Splatoon 2. I got it like day 1, I think. I'm not entirely sure. I'm pretty sure it was day 1. And I've been trying to play it every day. I haven't played it the last 2 days because I've been just working once again hardcore on my thing. I know I'm sounding like a broken record here talking about it, but like it's literally been my life the last week of just playing this fucking drawing this fucking webcomic thing I'm working on. Kass, as I refer to it. Kass is not the full name, by the way. I'm deliberately keeping it short because I want it to be a surprise. But anyway. But yeah, Splatoon 2, I'm enjoying it a lot. It's very similar to the first game. I'm not gonna lie. It's more of Splatoon 0.5 more than Splatoon 2, I would say. There's a couple of extra modes and stuff. Salmon Run's pretty fun, although I heard that like it's not even open throughout the whole day, so that's kind of weird. I don't know why that's the thing. But I heard that a lot of people playing that, which is good. I haven't been playing it as much. I've just been trying to like get good at Turf Wars I might even take it competitively. I probably won't, but maybe. I'm not a competitive player at all, obviously. But yeah, who knows? It depends on how into it I get. But yeah, I'll tell you, it literally, the reason I bought it, the thing that pushed me over the edge for buying it is because I can play it anywhere, essentially. That the fact that it is the Switch is a portable device is literally the thing, the straw that broke the camel's back, the thing that pushed me over the edge to buying this game. And I've been enjoying it a lot. I feel like I'm getting the first game experience again, or like properly, because it really is like if you play Splatoon 2, you pretty much play Splatoon 1. There are some like things that aren't in Splatoon 2, but mostly everything's in it plus more. Like even the story mode is like frighteningly similar. I mean, it's pretty much the exact same story except with a couple of twists. I haven't finished it yet. Although I do know what the final boss is thanks to a very inconsiderate YouTube video thumbnail. If you've seen that fucking video thumbnail, you know what I'm talking about. It was funny. I saw it on my fucking recommended. So I'm like, this fucking guy though. And I went on the video to complain about the thumbnail. And I looked at the comments, and literally every single comment was people saying, "Dude, what the fuck? Why would you show the final boss in the thumbnail? The game was released only a couple of days ago." Hey. I'm dying. I didn't bring my drink over to the table. It's just sitting on the other table over there staring at me. But yes, I've been enjoying Splatoon 2 a lot. I feel like, yeah, I just like, it's one of those things where I just felt like I got to be able to dedicate time to it, It's not something I felt like I could drop in and out of, There was something intimidating to me about joining in, at the end of Splatoon 1 when I would, like, everyone was, like, level fucking 30 or whatever the max is, It's like, ugh. I mean, like, you don't get master people that size, but most people already are, They're the hardcore players. So I'm already like facing up against people who are more experienced than me. It's like, ugh. Splatoon 2 is kind of a mixed bag though, isn't it? Because like you got veterans coming in as well as newbies. So it's like a weird like mix of people who are completely new at the game and total trash compared to people who've been playing it like playing Splatoon 2 professionally, and absolutely dominating. So yeah. I'm kind of weird when it comes to how good I am at it, I think. Where I've attempted to... I mean, there's some games where I'm like the fucking MVP, I'm like 1,000 points ahead of number 2 player on my team. That is obviously like a really bad team. But, it just depends on the weapon I use. And there are other times where I'm absolutely trash, I've tried to experiment with every weapon, but my god, a lot of those early game weapons are trash. I suck dick at Charger. I hate the, I don't know what it's called. It's like a shotgun thing that like shoots forward and then explodes. I hate that thing. That thing's terrible. Oh god. And then like there's like a roller which has like doesn't kill you immediately. It like it does like half damage instead of full damage. And then it has like shit subs and shit like that. And it's like why use this? I'm using it because it's like you get extra points or something if you use them. I'm like, this is bad, and I'm letting down my whole team. I also didn't realize that like you lose your win streak thing if you change weapon. I was really upset about that. I had like a 6 win streak, 6 or 7 actually. I was like, oh my god, I'm actually good at this game. And I'm gonna change weapon for a bit, and then it's like, yep, no, you've lost it. Fuck you. Oh. I'm super looking forward to the next Splatfest as well. I didn't play the open beta demo, whatever it was, where they had the ice cream versus cupcakes. Just for clarification for anyone who's wondering, I would have chosen ice cream. I'm not a cupcake person. I'm not a pastry pal. I used to be, but I'm not anymore because I'm gluten-free now. And by the way, the reason I'm gluten-free is because I'm celiac, not because I'm a hipster. Not because I'm a hippie hipster. Hippie. It always peeves me off a little bit when people are like, "Oh, can I get that gluten-free?" And like, "Oh, do you have a reason other than your false sense of thinking it has health benefits?" When I actually have a literal medical condition. Anyway, so that was me ranting for about an hour. I hope you guys enjoyed it or didn't. I mean, let me know. This might be the only episode of this. It depends. Like, you know, if there is going to be another one, it'll be a while from now. I would like it to be that the situation has changed enough that I got shit to talk about again. You know what I'm saying? Maybe after the Pyre update comes out. You know, maybe I'll do another one then, if it ever comes out. Haha. It's less funny. Anyway, so yes, I have been Ihasnotomato, and you have been a very nice, considerate listener who has listened to the entire thing, and I appreciate and love you all very, very much. As I like to say, I don't love you guys, I am in love with you. Alright, now I'm getting weird. This is what happens when I talk for about an hour. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye!
No.